vodka, then, but vodka is not very cool vodka. Казацька радість.
No, it's good one.
Да?
Вот без воды.
Думаешь? А нет у нас камы больше стаканчиков? Вот.
It depends what you wish for when you drink it. For in some ways, this vodka is good. If you want to warm up your body, wisdom. Okay, first of all, I will play just music and wait while people gather because we little bit late.
Yeah.
So don't start from the start.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Lust for Youth, and make sure you come to their gig tonight to Closer. I'm from Art Magazine, and this is our little interview. So, first question: your Twitter gets mentioned a lot, so I would like to ask a few questions about your tweets.
Okay.
One of your tweets was, "Wish life would be a little more lit at the moment." So, how lit is your life today?
It's pretty lit. I think.
Pretty lit. That's good.
It's getting there with the vodka.
Your other tweet was almost 1 year ago. You tweeted, "What's going on?" Did you figure out what's going on?
No,
No, still.
it's more confusion now than like a year ago.
Okay, and the last tweet I picked was, "There are incredibly few things I like more than the internet." So, what few things do you like more than the internet?
Actually, I think that's a tweet Luke made, so I don't know.
Okay. Tell us the most bizarre story from your North American tour.
Oh, was there anything bizarre? I think Niagara Falls was bizarre
Why?
because I was expecting this beautiful nature, like, and then you get there, it's just like this plastic, fucked up casino built up around the waterfalls. It was really depressing. I think that was pretty fucked up, but not in a cool like band on tour fucked up way, if that's what you're looking for.
And lots of tourists, I guess.
What?
Lots of tourists there.
Yeah.
So, what about you guys?
I would say the incident we had in Toronto was quite intense.
What was it?
We were booked to play an after party in this living room squat.
It was a hardcore festival after party called Not Dead Yet, and it's just it sounded like a noise set because the PA was so horrible. So all our songs sounded like this, war, like Lucas old project.
No.
And it was like very distorted.
What disappoints you the most in your field of activity? In music, like what disappoints you, like in the music sphere?
Nothing. I don't think that's nothing disappoints me. in
Everything's
music.
good.
Yes. I'm lying, but yeah.
What recent trend annoys you the most?
I don't like trends really, so I don't like I don't like trends.
Everything's bad.
Everything sucks.
What about you guys?
I don't like bands.
But is that a trend?
Is it really?
It was.
would say anything that comes from another country and that gets interpreted
Mm-hmm.
sort of gets this awkward position.
Like globalized, yeah.
Yeah, to some extent. Unless it's been thought about.
Yeah, true. What is the most disturbing film you've ever seen?
It was this clip we talked about today. It's a Danish TV show about the two guys who hunt and then cook the food they killed, and they're gonna hunt with a falcon, and they release the falcon, and 2 seconds after it's hit by a big truck, and everyone is sad. I think that's funny but fucked up.
Was that the incidents we were talking about?
In the car like some minutes ago, yeah.
Because he spent a lot of years.
Yeah, he trained this falcon for like years, and then he's gonna be on national TV, and it dies. It's time to shine, but yeah.
What excites you the most in your field of activity?
To travel, and when you're lucky enough to like meet, I think it's very fun when you go somewhere far away and then you meet people from your hometown, and you can explore this new place with friends from home.
So how do you feel about airports?
It's not the best place to be.
Really?
Yeah, I think some really magical moments have occurred being in the airport because it's sort of like this. I don't feel like. I think it makes sense when you see the same face twice. I think that's really when it becomes remarkable.
How often does that happen?
Not so often, but when it does, it matters. To me, it does.
I hate airports.
What's the best thing about being young in Denmark, apart from lusting for youth?
I'm old now, so I don't know really.
Oh, you're not. Come on.
I'm getting 30 next year, so I don't know. It's probably nice being young in Denmark because you're privileged and get a lot of nice stuff and don't have to think about surviving in the same way
Mhm.
like rest of the other countries does.
It can also
Spoiled.
be a bit of a curse to live inside such a small bubble that you
Mhm.
are so privileged to a point where you get blinded by other people's sufferings.
Mhm. Okay. You've mentioned Lindsay Lohan on numerous occasions. Is she your celebrity crush, or if not, then who is?
It's several people. It's her and Kirsten Dunst. I don't know why. It's from my teen years.
Okay. What about you guys?
Crushes?
Celebrity crushes?
I really like Christopher Walken.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's a charming guy.
He is. What about you?
I don't know. I can't think of anyone right now.
I know. The girl from Evil Dead. Oh, what? No, sorry.
Mila
Red.
Jovovich.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, I agree.
She's her own kind.
To what extent do you care about what others think of you?
It's everything. It's very important. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up. I don't know how to develop that.
Okay. Okay. What interests you outside of music currently? Like, what topics fascinate you? Yeah.
I don't know. Reading books and not trying to care about what's happening over in USA. It's kind of hard not to
Get
ignore it.
involved, yeah. What book would you recommend?
Dr. Glass by Hjalmar Söderberg.
Why?
Because it's a very good book. I don't know. It's a nice. I like his language, and it's very like epic, romantic, and yeah, like kind of like sacrifice for love, which I like that. I like that kind of story.
Okay.
And also now I'm reading Jonas Barnes, which is really hard, but I like it in one way because I have to read each page like 4 times before I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of like drinking wine, where you have to locate all the flavors and
Mhm.
starts to think. It's nice. Very long sentences.
You
Like-
read it as well?
I read it on the plane the other day.
Okay. What affects your creativity the most?
Like in a positive way.
Both, maybe?
Like, hvordan siger man humør? Oh, the mood, like your own mood.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're happy, then you're like, I don't know.
Are you more creative when you're happy or when you're feeling
Sometimes,
down?
but sometimes you can turn like when you're like in a bad mood into something creative,
Mhm.
into a positive.
It's
Mhm.
difficult to like to utilize something as an antibody,
Mhm.
and when something is so difficult to verbally express, then it's a really wonderful thing to be able to progress through the music.
I agree.
I think also because it's so subconscious that later in the progress you realize
Mhm.
why it was that you shaped things up that way.
What about you?
What inspires me, I don't know, I like to when I wake up early in the morning and like the first like 10 minutes I listen to what I'm working on at the moment.
Mhm.
It's when I see everything clearly and understand what I have to do the rest of the day. I like that moment.
So you're a morning person.
I've become that, yeah. I wasn't 10 years ago, but yeah.
Okay.
I think mornings are more creative for me than I'm not the kind of person who sit up all night and work on dark music.
Okay. What questions do you hate answering the most?
So what's it like in Copenhagen?
What's it like?
It's amazing. I don't know. Like standard questions that you have answered so many times that people should know it already. Like, what about this band? What about that? Like Copenhagen questions,
Mhm.
I think.
Sort of like if you're a goldfish inside of an aquarium and that fish next to you asks, "What's it like in this tank?"
Mhm.
Then I would like to do that. The goldfish in that Danish exhibition from the 90s in the blender that you could press. Do you remember him? What's his name? Pretty cool. And the guy who killed puppies and stopping them up. Yeah, he stuffed. He killed puppies and stuffed them like into like.
What's
Yeah.
that story about?
I don't know. It's just something that came into my mind.
Okay.
Art is so cool.
If you could access your subconscious, what do you think you would find there?
I don't understand the question
Well, why do you pass it on to me?
because I think you have a lot to say on this matter.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like things you don't control. Like what do you think is inside of you? Like a void in you. What does it consist of?
I think that's for every moment to decipher just being here as well. I think it's all a matter of what you want to pay attention to, because there's so much information all over us that it's sort of the selective, like based on
Mhm.
selectiveness of what interests you. So I guess what interests you is what's
What's
going
inside
on
of you.
within. What's
Yeah.
inside of you.
I would say when you make music, you base everything, all your choices on your subconscious. Like you can rationalize why is this catchy tune? Why is this melody makes me feel a certain way? It's just you just have to like feel in your stomach what works. So in a way, it's I don't know. I think it's subconscious. You just have to believe in your intuition.
Okay. How different was your life 1 year ago from now?
We didn't really tour when we had a break for a year, so so it was different in a way. We were just more home, more boring.
What truth have you learned after all these years you've lived? Like, what truth? Like, ultimate truth?
That I should have stayed in school and get an education instead of running around doing stupid stuff.
That's a big fat lie. You know it.
No, it's true. That's the only thing I learned, I think.
I don't think there is an ultimate truth. I think that's where things go wrong, when you sort of try to simplify.
When you think you know it all.
When you put like a line between what is false and what is the truth, I think that's also why
Mhm.
we're living in such a harsh world. Because
True.
then if you truly believe in something, then there's no space for difference. And I think that's ultimate love. I think maybe love is what is true.
Yeah, I think when you work, at least I try to like always understand what works, what is like in a creative field. But when you figure it out, it's not interesting anymore.
Mhm.
So it's like the process of trying to figure it out that is, that make.
And face the challenges that come with it, for sure.
Okay. What is something you think everyone should do at least once in their lives?
Travel.
Have sex.
I guess.
Actually, ecstasy also. I think you should try it once. I would like my parents to try it.
I would like my parents to try psychedelics. I'm actually talking my mom into it. We're gonna have a time together.
That's cool.
I don't think you should do drugs.
Never, like
No.
ever.
You can meditate instead.
Do you
Okay.
meditate?
No, no. but there's people doing it, so I go to yoga. It's kind of the same.
Oh, yeah.
almost.
What absurd and useless piece of information can you share with us?
Our Twitter account, I think.
It's a gold mine, yeah.
I have a lot of useless information, but I don't know which one to pick.
Just on top of your head.
It's just a blur. Sorry.
What do you guys?
So it's more of a landmine than it's a gold mine.
I don't think it's good to share useless information because every information shared at the moment is just useless and creates a lot of anger.
That's true. Describe the world you're trying to create during your performance. The world. Like for your audience.
I think it's hard to describe what it is. It's I know what it is and like the feeling of it, but I can't put a word what it is.
Mhm.
I think you better come and experience it.
Yeah, like come to the gig. Are you talented, obsessed, or possessed?
Is that one of like all three of them at the same time?
You can have all
I
three
will
of them.
yeah.
Are you talented, obsessed, or possessed?
Yeah.
All
two,
three?
Yes.
A little bit different, I guess. Well, possessed is when you're like 100% in it. Obsessed is when you're just working super hard. And talented is when you think you just have it all.
Obsessed.
Possessed.
Obsessed. No, I think I think they kind of fall in the same. Maybe they're like a running order
Mm-hmm.
of the each other.
Okay. How does society fail itself?
What?
How does society fail itself?
I don't know. Why did you think of that question?
It's a very cool question, actually.
Okay, what would you say?
I would say there's not enough compassion in the world. Like people don't empathize with each other enough. You agree?
I agree.
There's a lot to talk about in that element. I don't know how much um, we could dig into it. Mm.
I don't know. I think if higher intelligence came to the Earth and like aliens and saw what was going on, they would wipe out like the human race because it's like a cancer to the world.
But maybe that would also be finally the time where people would get together, because there would be another
Higher, yeah.
other, you know.
Do you believe in life out of this
For
planet?
sure,
Yeah.
I do. It's. I mean, we're in the Milky Way.
Mhm.
We know so little about our minds, let alone the world,
Mhm.
and what's beyond. For sure, I believe in aliens, or whatever the terminology
Mhm.
is for other existence. Definitely.
Do you believe in aliens? Yeah. Good. Cool stuff.
But I think we're also, I think it's also like implanted in us as human beings that there always needs to be some sense of antibody, like in some sort of defense against something else, to a point where we tend to otherify,
Mhm.
maybe a race or a country, in order to find ourselves in something.
Mhm.
That I feel like if we would ever get invaded by something unknown,
Mhm.
that would be a very beautiful moment for people to really get along and try to make things work instead of bombing each other all
Yeah.
the time.
True. Do you guys have any favorite music videos?
I like that Massive Attack Unfinished Sympathy.
Symphony, that's a beautiful.
Yeah.
Sympathy. Actually called. Unfinished Sympathy. You just did a video that was like that, actually.
I was very inspired.
I like our video running the music.
Yeah,
video.
it's great. I loved it too.
It's very loving. It was the first time we were in Tokyo.
Should I answer something?
Your favorite music video?
I don't know. Sorry. Maybe New Order's World. I think that's
Mhm.
nice. I think it's filmed like in South France, in the French River. Oh yeah, Style Council's videos are really good as well.
Okay. A few more questions. What did you learn from one another?
From these two,
Yeah.
I have nothing. First time I made music with Mel, I learned you could pan the tracks. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I think I learned something about simplicity from Hannes, because when we started to do music together, I was a little bit more into, I guess, more complex harmonics and like structures, chord structures, and Hannes was, every time I tried to make something sophisticated, he was like, no, we'll just do this. It's 3 chords and blah blah blah, and that's the song. So I learned how to find the beauty in simplicity.
What you saw?
Well, I learned to be more patient with these guys. No.
Sure, I got
What do you hope lasts forever?
I don't hope anything lasts forever.
Like nothing at all.
No. I was with last night. We talked about people starting to live forever, and that bums me out. And I can't really explain why, because I think it's wrong in every. It's not about, you're supposed to die at one point.
beauty of things is that they're not lasting forever. Like the beauty of youth, or the beauty of birth, and is that without death, it wouldn't be beautiful. I think.
I think if I had the choice to live forever, I would, under the condition that I could kill myself.
Hmm.
You can always kill yourself.
Yes, it is true. But I think life is too short to kill yourself. So if it was extended
Hmm.
to eternity, and it was
You would
a
have the choice, yeah.
possibility to kill myself, I would want to live forever.
That's a nice answer, actually. And the last question, what question would you want to be asked at an interview, and what would your answer be? Maybe you have like a message to the world you want to share.
Would you like to do an interview? And I would say no, thanks.
What was your question? Sorry.
What question would you like to be asked at an interview, and what would your answer be?
I think you've done a very good job.
Thank you.
It wasn't meant to be disrespectful.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I always like to talk about nerdy things, like specific things about the songs. When people ask about what does it mean, this small detail, I like that. It shows that someone cares about the music.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Can't wait for the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell what we are listening now from your own mouth?
It's called. It's a duo from
It's the
Sweden.
two guys like wearing masks.
Yeah,
They're super
it's
cool.
them. They're very good. We like them.
Thank you.
Thank you.